One. Okay, that's cool. He made the Phenomenon, Alter Ego, Rock the Beat. I'm just confused why Dan Farah, and maybe we can go to his Wikipedia page. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay. The film producer and director, he's a graduate of Columbia High School. He has no pedigree. What pedigree does this man have? And then this is it. This is the entire page. Why are we listening to him? Why did he even include him in the article? This is filmmaker Dan Farah. What was the point of? How does he know this? Why do we care about that? Why do we care about his opinion? As a matter of fact, why do we care about Hal Puthoff? How long has it been since Hal Puthoff has actively been in the U.S. Army? Maybe we can look that up, because nobody looks up these names on Discovery. Oh, he's old. He's tenured. Okay. Howard E. Puthoff. Okay. He's very old. Okay. Let's see. Parasology and pseudoscience. Okay. He loves... Okay. Took an interest in the Church of Scientology. Interesting. So we're listening to a man from the Church of Scientology? Oh, interesting. We're looking to a star seed? Okay, Puthoff took an interest in Church of Scientology and later researched what was then the top of OTV level by Puthoff wrote of his wins for his Scientology project, claiming to have achieved remote viewing abilities called exteriorization in Scientology in 1984. Puthoff also wrote a piece of Scientology Celebrity Magazine saying that Scientology gave a feeling of absolute fearlessness. Puthoff severed all connection with Scientology in the 1970s. Okay, I'm just kind of curious here. There's not much about him. They consider him to be an engineer and and maybe I'm dumb here. I've never heard of a parapsychologist. I don't know what a parapsychologist is. That feels to be a little bit of a falsehood of a term. I'm not sure what that term means. Maybe we can research parapsychologists. So I'm feeling parapsychology is study of psychic phenomena, extrasensory perception, telepathy, interpretation, psychokinesis. Okay, so we're listening to somebody who is an engineer, which he could be an engineer. I'm not going to discredit engineering. And a parapsychologist. He's known for paranormal research. Okay, so we're listening to this guy. We're listening to this guy. CIA researcher Hal Puthoff. Now, this is super important because this is when we started here. U.S. government has confirmed 6 poor aliens said ex-CIA researcher. Has he worked for the CIA? Has this man worked for the CIA? He was a part of the CIA? Where? Where does it say he worked for the CIA? Where? I'm so confused. Where does it say he has worked for the CIA?
We've been discovered.
Where's the PhD electrical engineering? Who's the CIA agent? That's CIA researcher. Okay, I'm just very curious here. He's going by word of mouth claims from his friends, and this is interesting to me because this doesn't mean anything. This is pretty much worthless information.
Got you.
They don't even tell me. Okay, the development comes days after the Donald Trump administration released the first tranche of alien files. Oh, alien files. Okay, now this is super important because little white dots experts question quality of UFOs files. Obviously, you're going to question the quality of it because if you read the files, they're complete garbage. Days after the U.S. Department of Defense released around 160 files, instantly the files offered little significance while speaking to Reuters. McWest, an unidentified anonymous phenomena analyst, said the inquiries offered quantity over quality. He also maintained the videos shared by the department only showed little white dots that could not be identified due to their size. I think what we have here is quantity over quantity. A lot of the files, we have our old files that we have from the FBI. They were released years ago. Some of the dates back to the 40s and 50s, West told Reuters. The videos are not really particularly interesting. The videos are all the information on the screen are redacted. The boxes that are covering the screen will show you what's actually going on in the video. Interesting. But we all see are little white dots moving around the screen, which we are unable to identify. That's basically it. He just released a big quantity. He did himself when he released all the Epstein files, just doing this oversaturation strategy. So it's not much going on here. Let's get back to this because this is kind of important to me. I'm very curious about this. The U.S. government has a 4 things, 5 things, bada boom. All right, hold on a second. Give me one moment. Because this is wildly interesting to me. Because when you do a little bit of research, see how little research I did just to kind of debunk all the nonsense? This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. In the recent days, discussions around aliens and unidentified flying objects have surged in the United States as many alien theorists UFO news believe that disclosure day is near. It refers to the eventual release of evidence that the governments have held for decades confirming the presence of aliens. The disclosure movement has gained popularity in recent years as discussions around UFOs and aliens have increasingly entered the mainstream. Trump ordered the disclosure earlier this year after former President Barack Obama said the aliens were real. Now, this is very important. I want you to really look at this sentence. Look at this sentence. The reason he's doing this is to get back at Obama. Now, you may be wondering, why would he want to do that? Well, let's look at Obama. Let's just go to Obama. Let's go to his Wikipedia page. I'm going to Control F and look up Nobel Peace Prize. Because you go to Nobel Peace, Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2009. Now, what does Trump want really, really bad? Trump, Nobel Peace. Trump really wants the Nobel Peace Prize. Like, he really, really, really wants it. Now, if we go to Donald Trump, right? If we go to Trump, we go to his Wikipedia page. And we look up Nobel Peace Prize. Let's look up Nobel Peace. Let's go ahead and see. He doesn't have a Nobel Peace Prize. As a matter of fact, only one result. It doesn't pop at all. Nowhere on Donald Trump's page, you can see up here, nowhere on Donald Trump's page does Nobel Peace. Zero matches. There's zero matches for Nobel Peace. Now, why is that? That's because he doesn't have a Nobel Peace Prize, but Obama does. And he religiously wants to compare himself to Obama. So this is very important. Because Obama confirmed there was aliens, Donald Trump says, well, I can confirm there's aliens too. He is having a literal dick measuring contest with a black man because he cannot be inadequated by the previous Obama. So, Trump has set up interagency committee headed by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to oversee the release of alien files. Ooh, meet 4 alien species. Davis said last year two of the alien species reportedly recovered by the United States are called reptilian and insectoid, not because they are insects or reptiles, because they resemble to the perception reptile-like or insect-like humanoid, as they have a head and 4 limbs and torso. Davis said the graves were recovered in the famous Roswell UFO crash in June and July of 1945, according to Davis. Davis said the graves are about 4 feet tall, where the Nordics are typically human-sized at about 5 to 6 feet. Interesting. He added the reptiles and insectoids are similar to height, according to Davis. The New York Post reported suspected experts are saying the grays are believed to be small, large eyes, hairless creatures comparable to the pictures of films of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where experts are believed to scale creatures with human limbs and long tails that walk upright. Wow, that's it. That's kind of it. That's it. That's the entirety of the article. Now, this article was completely worthless to read because people are going to read this and just immediately think that they should listen to this guy who practices parapsychology, and that's what they should listen to. There's only 2 people mentioned by name in this entire thing, so I'm led to believe that CIA researcher is a very, very generous title. Very, very generous title. Very generous title. Because from what I understand, this guy, Harold E. Puthoff, is not a CIA researcher. Or at least from what I understand, he worked with NSA and CIA, advised by. He's not really a CIA researcher from what I'm understanding. Right? From what I'm understanding, he's not really a CIA researcher. He seems to be a little bit of a hack. It seems crazy. It seems as though they couldn't, and even it says here, let's read a little bit about his thing. This is very important to me because this is what I call a distraction. So you may not believe me when I say this, but this is what we call a distraction, ladies and gentlemen, because we're having a bunch of unverified garbage. Psychologists David Marks and Richard Coleman attempted to replicate Puthoff and Targ's remote viewing experience in a series of 35 studies. They could not replicate the results. This is very important in science to be the ability to replicate the results of a given study. That's why you have peer-reviewed studies to show that you can actually replicate those results. While investigating the procedure of the original experience, Marks and Kaufman discovered that the notes given to the judges in Puthoff and Targ experiment contained clues to which order they were carried out. Examples include referring to yesterday's 2 targets or the inclusion of data of the session written on top of the page. These clues were the reason the experiments had high rates. So they skewed the results, is what I'm discovering. And he basically has nothing. And by the way, I've read a few of these things. I've actually researched this prior. I'm just showing you guys this. I've read like 4 of these things, and it's all pseudoscience garbage. Even on the thing, they state that he is really good at pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is not verifiable science, essentially. It's just, pseudoscience is, if you want an example of pseudoscience, it will be people saying that my skull shape is making me less intelligent, is what I would say pseudoscience is. But this isn't the only thing I want to talk about when it comes to distractions. So I'm going to get to distraction number 2. Distraction number 2 is the entirety of the Iran war. If Iran surrenders, admits their navy is gone and resting at the bottom of the sea, and their air force is no longer with us, and if their entire military walks out of Iran, weapons dropped and hands held high, each shouting, I surrender, while wildly waving the representative white flag, and if their entire remaining leadership all signs the necessary documents of surrender, and amidst their defeat to the great power and force of the magnificent USA, the failing New York Times, the China Street Journal, WSJ, corrupt and now irrelevant CNN, and all members of the fake news media will headline that Iran has a massive and brilliant victory over the U.S., America, it wasn't even close. The Democrats and media have totally lost the way. They have gone absolutely crazy. I am perplexed. Now, I could have made a whole video about this, but I'm not going to. If I made a whole video about this, it'd be 30 minutes of me just rambling on about Donald Trump and all this stuff with the war. But what I want to talk about is something significantly more important than the fact that our gas prices are going crazy. Donald Trump is actively attacking things. Because I've discovered something, right? If you want to keep the population distracted, cause a war. Because of war, if you want to keep the population distracted and you don't want them to actually question or think about things that are actively going on within that population. So Donald Trump has initiated himself or put himself within a war. We have rising gas prices. It's going to go on for quite some time. We have stress going on with the economy. That's bad. Egg prices still are not down. Milk prices are at an all-time high. We're having horrifying trade deals because of the tariffs. So, if we have all these things going on, we have an outside source to blame. Because Trump, according to him, is never wrong. He has stated countless times that he is never wrong about anything. I'm not going to continually quote the clips and say he's never wrong, because he continually says it over and over again. He just says he's never wrong over and over again. Now then, what I want to talk about in totality is the fact of two things. The full Epstein files go on display at New York's Media Gallery. I don't know how to say this word, everything it's saying is media. I'm assuming it's media. Now, the exhibition made up of 3,437 bound documents contains all documents related to the trafficking charges against the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. This is the whole thing. It is a gallery. This is in a gallery. A bound volume of the Epstein files on the reading room desk, courtesy of the reading room. An exhibition at New York's Media Gallery takes the form of a public library filled with the entirety of the Epstein files styled the reading room. The exhibition is made up of 3,437 bound volumes containing all the documents related to charges against the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. The exhibition, free to everyone over the age of 16, is being held by the Washington, D.C.-based nonprofit Institute for Primary Facts, which advocates for greater civic literacy. The institute directs you to a book an appointment to his website named The Trumpstonian. The exhibit subheading is "The Truth is Hard to Deny When It's Printed Out and Bound for You to See." And that's powerful, because people need to physically see certain things. People need to physically look at things that they're being told. In the QA on their website, the reading room states that the Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Reading Room is a physical, undeniable record of corruption, cover-ups, and crime. All 3.5 million pages, 3,475 volumes, and 17,000 pounds of the released and partially redacted Epstein files. Even then, this statement is wildly powerful because they're still showing the aspect that is still partially up. Epstein was charged with trafficking minors between 2002 and 2005 and faced up to 45 years in prison and convicted. He died before he was able to appear in trial. This is very, very important. The whole article is important to me. The files were published after the U.S. Department of Justice came under public pressure to release the information in September 2025. The U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform released tens of thousands of pages of Epstein-related documents shortly afterwards. Bloomberg obtained and leaked over 18,000 emails from Epstein's personal account. Donald Trump is referenced in over 53,000 files, as reported by the New York Times. The reading room also contains a detailed timeline of Trump's and Epstein's relationship, a large memorial for the victims of Epstein. Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoings in relation to the offenders. The organizers have also said that they are committed to supporting the survivors of Epstein's crimes and have provided contacts for international organizations to provide help to victims of assault and trafficking. This is very, very, very important that this happened very recently. This is new information, the new exhibit. This was released on the 18th of May, 2026. Now, what is today? The 18th of May, 2026. The reason I'm even talking about all this stuff and why this is being so proponent and why this is so important to me is because nobody I see online is talking about the Epstein stuff in greater effect because it's not being covered by the mainstream media. Everybody wants to forget about the Epstein stuff. I want to talk about this. The fact of Ghislaine Maxwell. Oversight members split on whether to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell committing fair sex 4 weeks ago. It's very important. This is 4 weeks ago because they're talking about letting Ghislaine Maxwell go free. They are trying to let Ghislaine Maxwell, because nobody's actively trying to get on her case, and talk about her. They are actively saying they should let Ghislaine free. The only convicted associate of Jeffrey Epstein has said she would testify to Congress if granted clemency, a power held solely by the president. This is very important because you're probably wondering what is going on here. Now, this is going to sound a little bit insane to hear, but do you know the SAVE Act that's been happening recently? 4 iterations of the SAVE Act have included a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell. 4 iterations of the SAVE Act have included a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell. They revised it down so it no longer includes that, but they were trying to slip that in so Ghislaine Maxwell could get clemency. They were trying to help her out. We are seeing corruption of rates we have never seen because they're out in the open now. I want to point that. That's very important. That's very important to bring up because nobody's talking about it. I don't know why nobody's talking about that. Not quite sure. Members of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee are divided on whether President Donald Trump should pardon Jeffrey Epstein's convicted co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, in exchange for her cooperation in the Donald Epstein's investigation. Chair James Palmer said in an interview on Wednesday, Maxwell, who was employed by the Oversight Committee as the sole convicted accomplice in the Epstein trafficking scheme, previously invoked her First Amendment right and declined to answer panel questions. Her lawyer has said that she would only speak if granted clemency, a power available solely to Trump, who has not ruled out the prospect of a pardon. So, when asked whether he believed it was a favorable deal to issue a pardon in terms of Maxwell's testimony, Comer said, a lot of people do. My committee split on that, he added, declining to name who on the panel supported granting the pardon. I don't speak for my committee. They should speak for themselves. We should be allowed to know what our officials are making. These are people that make the decisions of our country. We should be allowed to know who specifically is making which decisions so we can know who is making these choices so we can be informed about our politicians. I think it's important to have those names out there, but sadly it's not. Comer himself wasn't in favor. I think it looks bad, he said. Honestly, other than that, the worst person in this whole investigation is Maxwell. You know? Sure. I think there would be Trump if we're doing it that by order of descending. Robert Garcia of California, the oversight panel's top Democrat, emphasized the committee Democrats unanimously opposed a pardon for Maxwell. Okay, give me the names. I love that. This would be a huge step backwards and quite frankly so disrespectful to the survivors. She said in the interview she is a known abuser and she is a known liar. If the DOJ or oversight Republicans are out there trying to negotiate some sort of pardon, that is not only a huge slap in the face of this investigation to anyone, to the American public, yes. It's part of a massive cover-up. Pressure has been mounting on the Justice Department to pursue new prosecutions in the Epstein case, particularly after the United Kingdom arrested Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, crazy name, formerly known as Prince Andrew, and former Ambassador Pete Mandelson for crimes linked in association with this great financier. So, the Oversight Committee's thorough work has been complicated by the fact that Maxwell is unwilling to answer questions, and the central figure Epstein died behind bars years ago. Maxwell's lawyer David Oscar Marcus told Politico in an extended interview last month that he believed there was a good chance his client will ultimately be pardoned by the president. Marcus said he reached out to then Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche last year to help facilitate Maxwell's interview with the Department of Justice. He was granted limited immunity for a 2-day conversation and moved to a minimum security prison camp shortly afterwards. In her interview with Blanche, she emphasized that she had not seen Trump engage in impropriety with Epstein. The president's late arresting had been the source of much intrigue, as Trump has maintained the two had a falling out years ago. Garcia told the Oversight Committee, said the Oversight Committee should investigate why and how Maxwell was moved to a different facility after her interview with Blanche. Quite interesting. Because Ghislaine Maxwell was getting special treatment like Target big snacks, water bottle delivery to sell, as whistleblower has revealed 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Hold up a second. Let me tell you the full article because I'm just realizing that. There we go. Look at the full article right here. She's getting a lot of stuff. A lot of free. Look at that water bottle. That looks nice. Nice little water bottle. Love to see that water bottle for her. Happy she's getting water bottle. That's with Ghislaine Maxwell, the evil scoundrel right here. Ghislaine boasted to her family about getting special treatment behind bars, including private visits with snacks and frontline access for the private emails revealed by a former employee of a Texas federal lockup. So she's getting the best. She's getting the best treatment imaginable. Oh, she's getting snacks. She's getting peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh, she's doing great. Whistleblower Noelle Saranje claims Jeffrey Epstein's madam took advantage of her highly unusual relationship with the jail warden at federal prison Camp Bryant, getting perks other inmates don't, like water bottle and food deliveries to herself. Quite interesting. Noelle Turnage. Noelle Turnage. Now, I'd like to talk about Noelle Turnage for a moment here, because I want to see if Noelle Turnage is safe. Is she safe? I hope Noelle Turnage is safe. I want you to remember the face of this woman. If you ever see her obituary in the next coming days, she is not suicidal at all. I want you to remember her face, Noelle Turnage. I really want you to remember her face, because people like this go missing when they whistleblow. I just want to be aware of that. That's very important. What I can tell you is that things that were being done for her are not common for any of the other inmates, not even the other high-profile inmates. Interesting. Turner said, noting she didn't personally encounter Maxwell, and found out about her alleged preferential treatment through the emails. When the disgraced British socialite's family was coming to visit her from the UK, the prison all but wrote out the red carpet for him. Turner said in an interview on CNN's Eric Vernon Out Front, "I believe they will provide some water, coffee, and snack. You will not go without anything after flying all the way from the UK." Maxwell allegedly wrote an email to her brother, pointing Turnage. "Also, you will arrive to the front like everyone else, but there will be a coned-off area for you. Only you will go there. They will be waiting for you from 8 a.m. Quite interesting. Now, if you don't know what the prison facility looks like, it looks like this in Bryan. This is the prison facility. It's very cozy and comfy. It is extremely comfy. This whole thing, this nonsense, is disgusting to me. I hate every single second of it. And it just wildly grosses me out to see all this nonsense. Okay, enough reading. My eyes burn. I'm not a fan of reading, to be quite fair with you, but every single week now, it feels like somebody is dumping another truckload, it seems, of flaming headlines directly into my skull. It's a bunch of nonsense. Oh, Trump supporters going on, this is going on, and a bunch of nonsense there. The Iran war is happening. I just met with China, and nobody's talked about Epstein. Too long. It has been far too long since somebody has talked about Epstein. One of the largest elite-connected trafficking scandals in modern history is getting pushed into the background, and I am confused. I'm really confused. There's always another emergency, another culture war, there's politics yelling about bathrooms, another billionaire pretending to be relatable. It's disgusting. I hate this. People scream that names need to come out, demanded accountability, demanded transparency, all this stuff, demanding everything. Remember all that? Remember those demands? Well, they want justice. Now the conversation is buried. So buried. I see nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about this. As people whisper about the possibility of Ghislaine Maxwell potentially getting pardoned, I'm sickened. I'm wildly sick. I know society has developed the attention span of, I don't know, a goldfish, perhaps? Maybe if I put some Subway Surfers screenplay on the screen, maybe if I did that, if I put some gameplay of that, we have, I don't know, years ago, this headline would have detonated the internet for like 6 to 8 months. There would have been documentaries, protests, 27 podcast series narrated by Morgan Freeman, hopefully. That would have been great. The human brain, I don't think, was ever designed to process 30 catastrophes all at once. This is what's happening. Information overload does not create awareness anymore. It's creating this paralysis, this emotional status. I know everybody is more concerned about gas prices or more concerned about the fact that groceries are wildly expensive, and I get that. I understand that. But I think the terrifying part of what's happening is how normal this rhythm has become in society. Something massive happens. Everyone screams for about 2 weeks, and then corporations slap hashtags on the products manufactured by children in warehouses, and that's it. That's right. Influencers cry with ring lights, and they have sponsored moisturizer, and then their sponsored moisturizer is by Temu, and Temu has child labor laws that are still getting investigated, and then it just keeps going. It's this endless drudgery, this cycle, this machine that Ouroboros is pushing and pushing and pushing. It just needs you distracted temporarily. And that is enough. Because delaying public pressure long enough and people will emotionally migrate towards the next spectacle. That's what happens every time. Right? If I get to a drama, I bring up another drama, that last drama gets forgotten. That's how it works. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tragedy in winter, tragedy in spring, tragedy in summer, tragedy in fall. The seasons blend together, the tragedy blends. All of it blends together. It feels like a continuous thing. And I feel like this haze now. Every app, every single refresh is chemically engineered to destroy any linear thought you could possibly have. There's no timeline for any of this. Open your phone, within 30 seconds, you see war footage, somebody selling protein powder, and the protein powder, by the way, has lead in it, a conspiracy about clones, a celebrity breakup, inflation discourse, AI apocalypse prediction, a guy making macaroni in a toilet for views, and another politician pretending they grew up poor. And they're standing in a kitchen that costs more than my entire bloodline over and over again. And the brain starts flattening everything into the same emotional texture because we cannot properly separate existential threat from disposable nonsense anymore. Epstein should not be disposable. We have waited years for it confirmed. We've heard all these years. Pedophile elites are actively eating everybody and they're destroying people and destroying babies. We've made up these theories for years. All for it to be true. It to be true. You know what happened when the files got released? Because people trusted Epstein for some odd reason. They were saying, well, Epstein confirmed that they were actually cloning people, and Epstein confirmed that there was aliens. Who cares what Epstein confirmed? Let's talk about what he did. Let's stop talking about all these conspiracy theories and all this pseudo nonsense. Let's get to the main bulk of the actual crimes this horrible monster committed. Right? I think people genuinely cared once. People wanted answers because deep down, everybody understood what the Epstein story represented. A terrifying idea, the big idea, that wealth can create invisible kingdoms where there were no consequences. The possibility that people, powerful people, operate under a completely different moral gravity system than normal citizens. That is why the story hit so hard originally. It was never just about Epstein. It's not even about just Epstein. It's about the ecosystem around him, the silence around him, the connections around him, the weird social immunity surrounding rich predators who somehow always seem to know senators or CEOs or tech moguls or royalty or media executives. And every third guy photographed at a charity gala holding wine glasses. So strange. So strange. It's odd. It's an ecosystem. And that ecosystem has never faced consequences. You know who's investigating the ecosystem? The ecosystem is investigating the ecosystem. It's insane. Right? It's insane to say, well, we're getting a fair and unbiased and impartial judge. No, we're not. We're not. We're getting people who are in power investigating people in power. How convenient for that entire conversation to slowly sink into quicksand while the society gets blasted with nonstop noise 24 hours a day. Oversaturation, the greatest camouflage ever invented. People think access to more information automatically creates your ability to be introspective and truthful. No. It's just fog. It's fog. A billion voices screaming simultaneously not create clarity. It's like a psychic tinnitus inside of your brain. That's all it is. You stop hearing about individual alarms and everything's bad. It's disgusting. And people joke about doom scrolling all the time, like it's a quirky little internet habit. No, we are literally doom scrolling. We are in one giant gray soup. That's all it is. One soup. Soup is poisoning us. That's all this is doing. That's all this soup is. That's what it is. They don't end. They don't end, right? Because modern scandals, whenever I hear about a modern scandal, like the David case is going on right now. David case. What happened with David? Well, you don't know that the process takes too long to actually do that. It's like in a week, we'll learn more about David and they'll become the next news cycle. There's no satisfying conclusion, no emotional revolution, just fragments scattered across this timeline forever while commentators move on to the next monetizable panic attack. Every outrage becomes subscription-based content. You can feel the algorithm rewarding emotional amnesia because platforms thrive on novelty. There's no resolution. There's no resolution for any of this stuff. And the House always wins. The House, the Senate, the jury, all of it, they always win. They always win. And somewhere underneath all this noise, there's actual human beings whose trauma becomes an endless media conveyor belt where stories rise and vanish based on engagement metrics because of nothing. It's nothing. Real pain gets swallowed by the information hurricane. A story that should have been permanently just shattered. It should have just shattered. I think I'm so agitated. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed by all of this, and nobody's talking about Epstein. I hope that Ghislaine Maxwell does not get pardoned, because every day it feels like she's one step closer to getting it happen, because we keep forgetting about it. It is disgusting. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this entire situation in the comment section down below. That's it, me. I'm out. Peace. Bye. I'm your licking night, keep my low.
Time to vanish.
Happy to try with you. You know what I love you. I love you right with you.
I'm everywhere. I outnumber you.
Very conservative to use God as a way to pray on it, which is fair. Most people are Christian, and that's a fair thing to do. And I want to point this out, right? When COVID first came out, now this is going to sound crazy, I just remembered the Arizona black men that were given syphilis. The Tuskegee syphilis study where they gave the Negro male the syphilis, it was in 1932 or 1972. They just kept giving black people syphilis for the love of the game. It was a free vaccine. They were lying to them. They were just saying, hey, we're going to give you guys something cool, something great. They just kept giving black people syphilis. I don't know what that was about. That was disgusting. It was very nasty. So anytime the government gives me something for free, I am willfully skeptical of everything they do. I am just wildly skeptical of any time the government says, here goes something free to make sure you guys are all safe. That just scares me a little bit because I keep thinking about this. I think about this more often than I really should. So I don't trust the government whenever they say they want to give me something for free. It's a very well documented thing. It's very disgusting. It is the most disgusting thing. They didn't even tell them they were giving them syphilis. They didn't explain that they were giving them syphilis. I can use Wikipedia in dark mode. Whoa, that changed the game. I didn't even know I could do this. Wow, that changed my eyes so much. I'm never changing that. Jesus Christ. The claim drew reclamation from the left and public health experts. Terrence Delassin, Trinidad and Tobago's health minister held a press conference and said there was no evidence that COVID vaccines were causing testicular swelling. Minaj was embittered. I guess they had examined everyone's testicles in Trinidad and came back and told me I was lying too soft. And I want to point this out. Nicki Minaj is somebody who rarely ever admits that she's wrong. It's a very common trait among a lot of Republican people, a lot of people in this variety to say, hey, I'm not wrong, you guys are wrong. It shows, like, if you look at someone's strength, it's very dad mentality where dad never really admits he's wrong. Out of the controversy emerged an unexpected ally. Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist and founder of Turning Point USA, rushed to her defense. Democrats' treatment of Nicki Minaj should be all the proof you need. They don't care about black people, especially those they can't control personally. They just use them every 4 years for the results, so people are waking up. So, I hate Charlie Kirk. God rest his soul. I don't like anything that Charlie Kirk said. I do not think that Republicans are for black people. I don't think Democrats are for black people. I don't think any of these systems in place are really for black people, to be quite honest with you. But at least the Democrats are willing to talk. Is more so the main thing, and the Republicans are going to say, well, you're one of the good ones, right to my face. It's really just overt racism versus covert racism, and I don't really like the one-letter difference, because the C is adding a C-O-O-N, is what you're adding there. You're just adding a C to that, just to add a cracker in it, is really what you're doing. That's all I hear when I hear overt versus covert. It's really disgusting. So that's what I feel about. By that point, Minaj had been drifting towards Trump's policies for a while. Throughout his rise, he said she stayed quiet for fear of alienating fans. I felt that way already about him, just that I didn't dare act like that publicly, she tells me. It's been ingrained as it's ingrained in the music business that we're supposed to be a democratic family. I just knew they would not like me supporting Trump. And that's smart. A lot of your fans are probably going to be Democrat, and more so anything unless you're doing country music, then you can just grip to Republicans all day you want to. Her approach changed after a series of unnerving episodes at her Los Angeles home in 2022 and 2023. Her $20 million mansion in a gated enclave became the target of repeated swatting calls. This is, I mean, that you shouldn't get swatted. Swatting is a horrible thing. People are threatening to swat me all the time, and I just care about it a lot. It makes me horribly paranoid. $20 million mansion, though. What do you need that much space for? What do you need that much opulence for? I don't understand what these big mega mansions. Please, goofy. Anonymous host claims that some heavily armed police at her doorstep. Law enforcement have not identified or arrest anyone in connection with the incident. The Los Angeles Police Department said it could not verify details about the incident without additional information. The experience was frightening, she says, especially for her young son. That's fair. I think that is very, very fair. I'm not sure who was swatting her. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. On X, she sought help from California Governor Gavin Newsom through intermediaries. She said she requested a meeting, but she never heard back. He just completely ignored me with all the money I spent in taxes, she said. Newsom office did not respond for a request for comment. After a swatting attack happened in April 2025, according to police reports, the episode drew the attention of a pattern of very online Republicans. Among them was Anna Luna, the former model and Turning Point USA activist turned congresswoman from Florida. Luna, a close friend of Dershowitz, called Minaj. He then connected the rap with federal law enforcement officials and private security firms, and she uses, I was shocked. Minaj says of Luna officials, I never seen anyone in politics treat me that way. She began to reconsider going public as a part of Trump's MAGA movement. That's what made me say I don't care to keep this a secret anymore. And this is going to sound very conspiratorial of me. Maybe they swatted you and then used this as a way to get political vantage point with you, perhaps. Maybe they are the ones who swatted you and then knew that you were reaching out and the Democratic Party wasn't going to help you out. And then they used their connections and internal things to do something that is totally illegal, which is helping your friends in politics and using networking opportunities to do so. I feel as though that is just what happened. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm stupid, but I digress. On November 20th, Minaj arrived at the United States to deliver a speech about the prosecution of Christians in Africa. A crush of fans pressed against barricades owns aloft straining for a glimpse as she made her way from the U.S. mission towards the General Embassy. Dershowitz guided her across First Avenue, up the steps, and through the security perimeter. In a bland fluorescent lit holding room for the event, Minaj was nervous. A performer accustomed to commanding jam-packed stadiums was momentarily awed by the setting. The Fox News anchor Harris Faulkner snapped selfies with the rapper as aides milled about. When the moment came, Trump's UN ambassador, Mike Waltz, told her it was time. Minaj paused, inhaled, and said quietly, almost to herself, here we go. The rapper's path to the podium began with conversations with their pastor, Dr. Peter Echechukwu. I don't know how to say his name, I'm so sorry. A Nigerian native who also serves as motivational speaker. He had shared stories with Minaj about the persecution of different communities in Nigeria where attacks by extremely abusive militias have fueled a climate of insecurity, church buildings, kidnappings, and sporadic massacres that often drew little sustained international attention. It's not clear how the issue wound up on Trump's radar, but on October 24th, the president posted about the issue on Truth Social. The United States does not stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries who wrote, we stand ready, willing, and able to save our Christian population around the world. And this is more so the thing about black conservatism, by how a lot of black conservatives are more so very heavily Christian based. As a matter of fact, I don't think a lot of black people are more so Republican or more so they want to admit to it. They'll say they're just church-based. And I think a lot of the basis of the church is heavily conservative. There are so little LGBTQ protections in the church in any capacity, and there's so little help when it comes to a lot of these people, when it comes to, I would say, Republican hate. There's more conservative people in the church than I'd like to admit. So, Minaj responded on with a note of gratitude, thanking Trump for elevating the issue. The next day, Dershowitz reached out to Minaj, who he knew through a mutual friend since the start of Trump's second term. Dershowitz had functioned as a kind of celebrity envoy, the informal courtier of figures whose cultural capital could be converted into political credibility. He contacted Waltz, proposing an invitation to address a room of global diplomats. whilst extending it by publicly do X, and Minaj agreed. I think that this is a very smart strategy to get the gay vote, or more to the barbs, who are a very large portion of the gay vote, or at least gay white men that love Nicki Minaj, that emulate effeminate black women, and getting young black women who saw themselves in Nicki Minaj, who wanted to actually express themselves. This is just great propaganda and manipulation tactics by people who understand the game better than we could possibly fathom, seeing a moment of weakness and capitalizing on that, using predatory tactics to gain a way into a very mentally weak person such as Nicki Minaj, and using her strong, verbose ego to make sure everybody around her is in the same mindset, because they are a very cult-like following. That's how the Barbs go. And seeing how the Barbs weaponize a lot of the stuff Nicki Minaj says against any criticism of her, they use that as an opportunity to push Trump's pretty much wild policies. That's how it is. The appearance is carefully calibrated. Minaj's address is cautious, dipping only the toe into the waters of overt partisanship. She thanked Trump for drawing attention to the issue while wrapping her message in universal language, protecting Christians in Liberia. Not about taking sides, he said. It's about uniting humanity. Which is interesting. I think that's interesting. I think you can say pretty words all you want to, but the end result will always be the same. It's just Nicki Minaj right here. She's just having a good time. She and Minaj acknowledged the president's thanks on the January event, touting Trump's friend savings account. Brandon Smolowski, AP, Getty Images right here. That's what the source is. So that's Nicki Minaj right there. She is a piece of pepper and a sea of salt, is what I'm saying. That was not enough to stop a torrent of headlines, memes, and denunciations online. The claims that Christians in Nigeria are being targeted for their faith is as contentious as Minaj's expertise on the matter, wrote the New Republic. That's such a bar. Instead of deterring Minaj, they emboldened her. And this is what happens when people give you criticism. Nobody learns through shame. Learning through shame is not going to work in any capacity. If you shame somebody and think they will learn their lesson, they will only hardly go to the side that openly welcomes them. If you push somebody into the arms of somebody that views your enemy, you're going to make an enemy out of somebody who was once your friend. I think that mindset happens a lot, especially on the left.
Double kill! Double kill! That's 3! Double kill! That's 3! No!
Cosmic rays didn't make me who I am today. My family did.
Double kill!
Never even saw me coming.
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
Never even saw me coming. They look like they mean business. Your turn to disappear. You forced my hand. Psionic Surge! Vortex Field! Clear the way! Your turn to disappear. Now I see them. Vortex Field! Psionic Burst! Feel the pull! Psionic Burst! Disappear! him. Force burst! Psionic burst! Never even saw me coming.
Your kind is flawed at every level and beyond repair. Termination.
Double KO!
Make yourself useful. Those beings appear to be hostile. Make yourself useful. Challenge me, you animals! The virus takes hold! Those beings appear to be hostile. Pathetic.
Double KO! That's 3!
Termination. The virus takes hold. Extermination! Drone strike complete.
Ain't looking for a fight, but ain't backing down from one neither. Oh, quel dommage. Lucky draw. Just who Gambit we're looking for.
Double KO! That's 3!
King of Hearts. Maybe cars just ain't your game. Remily boom! someone to fight. You know you had that coming. Lucky draw.
Double KO.
Gavin enjoyed that a little too much.
That's 3.
You was out of your league. Full house.
Double KO.
Ooh, found me someone to fight. Gavin never folds! Full house. Gavin never folds! Maybe cars just ain't your game. It's Deadpool time, kiddos! Let's go! It was just business. You went with this boy! Guess who just showed their stupid faces? Come on! I didn't come here to read! Another name off the and perfect! Thank goodness this book has pictures! I'm feeling trigger happy! Time to go full hibachi up in here! Heads up, losers!
Double KO.
Memories. Thank goodness this book has pictures! More of me than ever!
Does the Lord Icon do bonus damage?
The team up nobody asked for! Waited long enough! We doing this or what? Guess who just showed their stupid— Hey, Jack! Someone clip this! That's how it's done, heroes!
Double KO.
Another name off the old hit list.
Director Han, White Fox. Let's make this quick and clean. One hostile down. The Fox awakens! Ah! Predator! 정오의 시간!
Double KO.
The nine tails end! I sense them. Close. Demons, yokai, and villains. They all fall by my blade. Just the same. Out of sight. 逃がさないわよ。その前を食らえ! And
Double
so
KO.
your story ends.
there isn't what I do. What I do isn't very nice. Look who just showed up. You had that coming. I'd stay down if I were you. No holding back.
Double KO.
Coming at you. No holding back. Yeah, that was embarrassing. You're mine. Here come our next victim. Coming at you. Let's do this. I'd stay down if I were you. You're mine. Endless fury.
Double KO.
You're mine. Wasn't very nice, was it?
Double KO.
Coming at you. Endless fury.
That's 3.
Here come our next victims. Yeah, you're mine. No holding back.
Double KO. That's 3.
Coming at you.
Wow, 4 in a row.
You're out of your league. Endless fury. Let's do this.
My power is a gift from the soul of the undying. You fought with honor. More eager idiots.
Double KO.
Almost fury!
That's 3.
Dragon kick! This fight was never yours to win.
Double KO.
Another loser to punch. Homie and Chrissy! Far from legendary. Yeah. 寿老 has blessed me again. 随行，气贯长虹。为昆仑。
Double KO.
Look who just showed up.
That's 3.
You're done.
Wow, 4 in a row.
I've done unspeakable things. I hope it's not too late to set them right. Target neutralized.
Double KO.
That had to hurt.
That's 3.
Not so fast!
Wow, 4 in a row. 5. That's amazing.
One down.
6 in a row. Way to go.
Here they come.
Unbelievable.
Stick around. Target neutralized.
Double KO.
Armed
That's
and
3.
dangerous! Armed and dangerous! Got one. Again! No mercy. Again! Here they come. Armed and dangerous! Not today. Armed and dangerous! Armed and dangerous! Armed and dangerous! Armed and dangerous! One down. Again! Armed and dangerous! Incoming! Armed and dangerous! We're done here! Armed and dangerous!
Double KO.
Not today. Armed and dangerous!
That's 3.
Again!
Wow, 4 in a row.
Again!
5. That's amazing.
Again!
6 in a row.
Again!
Go.
Again! Here they come! Again! 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 Personal. Again! 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 Got one.
I may be from Earth, but every planet's under my protection now. Who's the man? I am. Coming right at ya! Ah! Woo! Oh, they do not look happy. Oh, did you see that? Three, two, one, blast off! Boom! Oh, did you see that? 2 points, Star-Lord.
Double KO!
Oh, sweet moves, right? 3, 2, 1, blast off! Boom!
Double
Sweet
KO!
moves, right?
That's 3!
Coming right at ya!
Wow, 4 in a row!
Hey!
6 in a row! Way to go! Unbelievable!
Oh boy, here they come!
We have hidden in the depths long enough. Now is the time to strike. Protect your king! I summon the seas!
Double KO!
Typical air breather. Wash our foes away!
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! 5! That's amazing! 6 in a row! Way to go!
Denizens of the deep! These waves will not break! Denizens of the deep! More foes to conquer! Wash our foes away!
Double KO! That's 3!
Typical air break. These waves will not break! Imperious Rex!
If I'm not joking about something, you know I'm not taking it seriously. What do I hit next? I'm taking requests. Powering up. Anyone say fireworks? I don't think that's the welcoming committee. There's another one down.
Double KO! That's 3!
Going for 4. I hope Friday got that on video.
Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
Piece of cake.
5! That's amazing! 6
Hurry
in a
up.
row! Way to go! Unbelievable!
Anyone say fireworks?
Please, can we discover Aunt May's cherry pie dimension? Yeah. Crack the whip! Round and pound! Yeah. gotcha! I don't want to hit you more than I have to. Huh. Gonna get sticky! Huh. Crack the whip! Fight for the good guys next time. Round and pound! Pretty sure those are bad guys. Spider Sling! Ha! I don't want to hit you more than I have to. Spider Fist is ready to punch! Yeah. Spider Sling! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Ground and pound! Ah. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Double KO! That's 3!
Yeah. Yeah. Now I gotcha! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Double KO!
Round and pound!
That's 3!
Pretty sure those are bad guys. Yeah. Now I gotcha! Oh, you went down pretty hard. Spider Fist is ready to punch! Crack the whip! Ground and pound! Now I gotcha! Spider Sling!
I've watched entire realities consumed by chaos. I won't let that happen again. Show's over.
Double KO! That's 3!
Chaos control! And so it begins. Now, a disappearing act. Claimed by chaos! You are under my spell! The end has come, but just for you. Be right back. You are under my spell. That did the trick. You're not going anywhere. Our foes have found us. I got another one.
Double KO! That's 3!
Khonshu has guided me this far. I trust him.
Double KO!
Vengeance is served.
That's 3!
A gift from Khonshu. Get up. I'm not done. A gift from Khonshu. On your toes. Here they come. This was rise and fall.
Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
Get up. I'm not done. Thank you very much.
Double KO!
The power of the moon.
Double KO!
The moon haunts
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
I do still kind of have a crush on Wolverine.
Double KO! That's 3!
3 for a 3. Ooh, I'm energized.
Wow, 4 in a row!
Take that, you villain!
Double KO!
You got by squirrel. Ooh, I'm energized.
Double
Tango
KO!
spotted bad guys. There they are.
Double KO! That's 3!
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Wow, 4 in a row!
That's one bushes there.
I was terrorized, broken, and remade in the Netherrealm. Now I command it. Target neutralized.
Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! 5! That's amazing!
Another one bites the dust.
6 in a row! Way to go!
I spy some bad guys.
Unbelievable!
Target neutralized. Target neutralized.
Double KO!
I spy some bad guys.
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
Like fish in a barrel. Plasma! Plasma! Widow's fight. Enemy down. I spy some bad guys. Looking for a new challenge.
Double KO!
Enemy down.
Double KO! That's 3!
Looking for a new challenge.
Double KO!
To be a superhero, gotta be an optimist.
Heads up! Back, guys!
I am too good at this.
Double KO! That's 3!
Sonic boom! Hack and slash!
Please, give me a challenge. Heads up! Back, guys!
Yeah, I earned that one. Woo! I never miss!
Double KO!
Usually you have to lead a target. Not
That's
with this
3.
arrow. Nice.
Wow, 4 in a row!
My domain will one day encompass all souls. Find that soul. A brief taste of hell. Here's this life. Why bother?
Double KO! That's 3!
An opportunity for find that soul. Hell unleashed! I bring hell down on their heads.
Double KO!
Why bother? My soul remains noble, as my sword stays bright. This war is bigger than one life. Come have fun! Enemy ahead of us! Did I break your spirit? Charge! Come, my minion!
Double KO!
You have to feed them sometimes.
Go have fun! Straight to your soul! Come, my minion!
Double KO!
Survive this!
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Ooh, pick me! Pick me! Please!
I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Only my neighborhood is now like multiple realities. Cool, right?
If you're not careful, mate, you start to become the monster yourself. Who's ready to go hunting?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I'm your friendly... Anybody who has the chance can be a hero. I believe that.
Look young, but trust me, I've lived through more than most.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Khonshu gave me my mission, and nothing's going to stop me from seeing it through.
Our enemies are here. Oh, I need assistance. Cover me.
Crack the whip!
The mission area is yours to capture now.
Round and pound! Spider Fist is ready to punch!
We captured the mission area!
Crack the whip!